Here's another excerpt from office hours. One of our CFE members asked the question, should pastors keep track of their numbers? I also answered a question about should entrepreneurs keep track of their numbers in their business as well. Listen to my response to this question. It depends on the heart attitude. If you go to the Old Testament, David took a census of all his fighting men, and God was upset with him, and he brought like a plague on Israel because David took the census trying to count. But another time where God actually told David to take a census. I think it's all about what's the motive, what's driving the census. So when David took the census on his own record, he was trying to see what he had. He was trying to see what he had under his control. When God told him to take a census, it was a God-inspired concept, not a personal ego thing. Every pastor has to really check their motives on their numbers. Does the number, is that a ego thing? Are you bragging on the number? I had a friend of mine who started a church here in Atlanta. He did a Easter service one time, and he posted how, I think maybe he said 500 people showed up for Easter, something like that. And he posted online and 500 people showed up. And then I guess another pastor told him, said, man, we only had like 20 people. So it was almost like he created this comparison. And ever since then, he said he stopped talking about numbers. Like he said, I don't ever want to create a comparison. You know, whatever number I say, somebody's going to be higher or lower and it's going to create a comparison. So I don't want you to talk about it, numbers. And so he's kind of taking that approach, not even talk about numbers. So you know how many members he has. He just shows up on Sunday, he preaches, and he serves people in front of him, right? You don't really deal with the numbers that way. I do think numbers can definitely be an ego boost for some pastors, and the numbers can become a means to an end. I was listening to a church here in Atlanta. They're a large church, you know, since we're going to throw numbers out, you know, let's say they 10,000 people. They had a youth group, and the youth group was serving like maybe 200 kids. The ministry shut down the youth group because it wasn't large enough. I was like, oh, that's not a good use of our resources. You're only serving 200 people. You need to be bigger than that. And so they start using numbers to determine if they should shut down something or not. So that seems to go against scripture, right? This goes against kind of how God even did things. You know, even when Jesus was ministering, he ministered a message where people turned away from him and he only was left with a few. But he kept going, right? It wasn't about the numbers per se. Now, keep in mind, though, we're talking about ministry. If somebody's in business, I think you do need to keep track of your numbers in business, though, more than anything. Because like the numbers in business does kind of control the business, unlike it does in ministry. So don't hear us say that your business should keep track of the numbers. We're talking in a ministry context.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey guys, I pray that this excerpt was a blessing to you. If you ever like to join us live for office hours and ask your questions to me directly, go to churchforentrepreneurs.com, click on the calendar link, and then RSVP for our next office hours. If you'd like to partner with Church for Entrepreneurs, go to churchforentrepreneurs.com/partner. And also don't forget, please share this podcast if anybody think it'll be a blessing to them. Talk to you guys soon.